Ange, first and foremost, if you just bring us up to speed with your squad. We saw Carl Starfelt and David Turnbull training this morning. How are they, first and foremost?
So in terms of tomorrow, Bull's okay, Dave Turnbull's all right. Carl's back in training, which is great. Won't be too early tomorrow, but the idea is to get him back into training over the next few days and see how he goes. Jota, again, he sort of had his last sort of rehab session today, so expected to start training with us after tomorrow's game and be available for the weekend.
Can I just ask you about something, Ange, that Matt O'Reilly said ahead of the last game to us? He spoke to us about how playing at the Champions League, the boys' running numbers had all had to go up. They'd have to cover more ground. Is that something you found, and is that one of the things the players are adapting to play your style of football, they're needing to run more because maybe they don't rest on the ball as much in Europe as they get to domestically? Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a surprise to us. I mean, I think European football in general, we found it last year in the Europa League, there's the physical demands are greater than the competition, the Premiership, because, for the most part, Premiership games, even though we try and play at a high tempo, we have a lot of control of the games, which means that we're not doing too much running, back towards our goal. Whereas, you're playing against better opposition. It's more of a challenge for us to maintain that tempo when you don't have the ball. But within that context, I think physically, in all the games, I think we've performed really well. The difficulty then is, recovery and back up for your next game when they're so close together.
And in terms of staying in Europe beyond Christmas, it's pretty much win or bust tomorrow. How much are you relishing that and relishing the challenge of giving the fans what I think you feel they deserve, which is a win here at Celtic Park in the Champions League? Yeah,
look, I think in the context of us sort of continuing Europe, obviously it's a must-win game tomorrow, and our ambition is to try and achieve that, keep us alive. It's not that just because I think we deserve something, you automatically get it, or you kind of feel like you're owed something. My sort of thought process around this whole thing is that if you keep putting yourself in that position of playing the kind of football we want, creating chances, eventually you get your rewards, and for us that's the key to tomorrow. We've just got to play, in the same manner, tackle it in the same manner, particularly here at home. Put pressure on the opposition, and I think again, if we create the same number of chances, then it's about then converting them. And I think from my perspective, it's a lot better being in that sort of situation rather than trying to figure out how we're going to create chances to score goals.
Taking the results apart, are these Champions League matches, especially here, been everything you'd hoped for in terms of competing in them, in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of what you've seen from your team, and what are you hoping for this final game here?
Yeah, look, in terms of the atmosphere and the support we've had, it's been outstanding, and it's special to be a part of. But at the same time, we wanted to make an impact, and that hasn't changed just because we haven't. That doesn't diminish our ambitions, and the idea is that we turn this atmosphere and the uniqueness of support we have into something tangible, and that is getting results at this level. But as I keep saying, it's the hardest form of club football to crack, and for us this year has been about really testing ourselves, and I think we've done that. We know the areas we've fallen short, but it's not like we're walking away wondering what we could have done or whether we gave a good account of ourselves. We've gone about it exactly the way I wanted us to, and tomorrow is another opportunity for us to again display the kind of football team we want to be against the best opposition club football has to offer.
Your squad are in good form in front of goal at the moment. 14 goals in the last 3 games. Is the hope that will stand you in good stead for chances to be taken tomorrow if they come along?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's fine margins. I mean, we've had decent form going into all of these games in terms of scoring goals, but we know that at this level it's a little bit more challenging. Better defenders, better goalkeepers. Seems that the posts are thicker because we keep hitting them. But as I keep saying, for us it's about putting ourselves in that situation constantly. I'm sure all our players are learning, just how difficult it is to convert those chances, and every time they're out there, I'm sure they're thinking about that and looking to improve in the areas that they need to. But for me, the constant within that is let's create the chances. There's plenty of football teams that play at this level that really struggle to create anything, and we haven't had that problem. We're going to tomorrow night again against a very good opponent. They've taken points off all the other teams in this competition, knowing that we're going to have to be at our best to create those chances. And I feel confident that if we keep doing that, we'll begin to convert them.
Jota has been named in Portugal's preliminary 55-man squad for the World Cup. Is it pleasing to see him get that type of recognition from what is a big footballing nation?
Yeah, super pleased. It's a hell of a recognition for him. We know how strong a nation Portugal is, particularly in those attacking positions. So it's obvious. Look, we know his form has been outstanding for us, both domestically and in Europe, for the last sort of 16, 17 months he's been with us. And I'm sure it's encouraging for him because, he probably came to us, 18 months ago just wanting to kickstart his career, and in a very short space of time now he's within national team recognition. So it's great for him, and I'm sure it's a great incentive and motivator for him, and great for our football club.
And you've had incredible backing from the stands in this competition. What would it mean to you personally to give these fans something to celebrate in this competition? It's not about me personally. It's about the fact that I'm manager of this football club, and any manager of this football club always wants to repay the support they get. I'm not unique in that space, and for our supporters, as I said, they've been outstanding. Throughout the season and last year since I arrived, and particularly in Europe this year. We want to send them home happy. We want to send them home happy every time we're out there. That's our responsibility. It's not about how I feel about it personally. It's about that's the responsibility I have, the players have, we all have who represent this club to try and make our supporters proud and give them some joy. And tomorrow night's an opportunity to do that.
Hi Ange, as a supporter looking at the group table, perhaps quite easy to feel despondent, but there's also a feeling I think there's a lot to be gained from the final couple of matches. You're obviously focusing this year's competition, but you're also aware of the bigger picture always. Do you feel real things can be learned over these last two matches, even if we finish bottom?
Yeah, despondent's a strong word. I'd hate to think people, who have been following us feel, especially our supporters, that way. If nothing else, I understand they'd be disappointed, but as I said from the outset, we've set out to play a certain way, and I don't think, despondent would mean if I was saying we're going to play attacking football and we haven't created any chances, and then you're shaking your head going, what's this guy talking about? Like I said, we're obviously have really high ambitions about our ability to compete at this level. Every game is an opportunity to progress that, and the only way I believe you can progress that, and I've said that from the start, is to really test yourself. Testing yourself for us is to go in there and try and play our football. I can go out there tomorrow and get a 1-0 victory and everyone goes home really happy, but within my gut, if we haven't played our football, I know what that really means. That doesn't really mean progress or testing ourselves to me. So we may finish bottom of the group, as you said. I hope that doesn't send people into despondency, if that's a word, but I'm pretty sure that our supporters, what they've experienced and what they've seen is a team trying to really maintain their identity against the most toughest of oppositions. I think there's some merit in that, and I think that's how you learn and develop, and that's our goal in the next two games, is not so much focusing on outcomes again, about can we be the football team we want to be against the very best. If we fall short, dust ourselves off and go again.